Girls Gone Camping Uncensored may contain coarse language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised. I'm Amanda,
I'm Alana.
and this is Girls Gone Camping.
All right, today we're talking about the beautiful Mikisew Provincial Park. This place is right in the heart of the Boreal Forest, and the scenery is absolutely stunning. Whether you're into hiking, canoeing, or you're just looking for like a peaceful little getaway, this park really has something for everyone.
Yeah, it really does. It's located on Eagle Lake, but translated from the language of the Algonquins, Mikisew means golden eagle, and Mikisew was put in regulation under the Provincial Parks Act in 1964.
Perfect. It is like a nice, I think it's in the near north category, right, of the
Yeah.
parks. The drive in is really nice. You get off the highway and then there's just a really long, windy road that you go down. There's water along the side. You kind of have to go at a nice slow speed so you can take it all in, just because, like I said, the roads are pretty windy. So I do like the drive into this park.
It is really pretty, but like imagine driving that at night because the road is like it's road and then a small patch of like grass and then water.
No, this is not one I would want to do at night.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be
definitely not.
so scary. Anyways,
Yeah.
the park doesn't actually have a park store inside of the park. There is like their front gate where you do check in and stuff, but their park store is outside of the park, down the road a little bit, and they do sell everything. It's basically a small little convenience store. It's called Eagle Lake Narrows Country Store. And they handle the rentals for the park as well. So if you want to do like a canoe rental or whatever, you got to go there. And then you also have to go there to return your key. There's nowhere in the park to drop the key off. Um, they also have like really delicious pizza and they have ice cream. I think I saw a few people getting like fries and stuff. Like I think they have a little bit more in that ice cream place than just ice cream, even though I haven't really checked it out. The pizza, though, we've gotten a few times. It is absolutely delicious. It's such I would drive probably that far just for the day to get some good pizza. Like I just think it's
It was
delicious.
actually delicious, yeah. And it is, it's nice to not cook every night. Like we mostly try to bring everything with us, but we've been finding lately that a lot of these parks, because they're in the middle of nowhere, they're beside like the most delicious little restaurants and
hmm
like little snacks or bakery places. It's nice to sometimes go out and see what else is around the park.
Yeah. Well, and then the first time we went there, we went for girls' weekend. I remember we went, picked up our pizza, and then we went and sat along the lake across from the store on just like a little picnic bench and had a beautiful dinner, like lakeside.
Yeah, and there's a little park there, and yeah,
hmm
definitely. So that's just like we said outside of the park. It's probably what, like a 5-minute drive down the road.
Yeah.
But as far as inside the park goes, we have stayed now two of our trips. We stayed on the same site, and then I had brought my kids just on another weekend, and we stayed on site 100. It's a little bit of a trek to the beach. You had to go down this great big hill to get there, and we're not like above walking, obviously, but we take our paddle boards, so it was a lot to carry those paddle boards up and down the the hill. So those sites and then the sites further in like the 300s, they're just really far from the water, I think, in
hmm
comparison to the sites that we actually love at this park.
Yeah. Like absolutely. We stayed on site 258 twice. And then we've also stayed 256 and 260 and they're right in a row right by the water. And we went one of the times we went and we stayed on site 258. My brother was in the park at the exact same weekend. He was way up in the 300s. I didn't see him once. And when we got back, and I was like, oh, I love this park. It's the best park. And he was like, I didn't see anything so special about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was because they were so far from the water. They didn't even leave their site to go venture out because the water was quite a trek for them all the way down. Again, it's down a big hill, so they'd have to come up. And I don't know.
Well, and the parking is pretty limited down there too, I think, if I remember. Like
Yeah.
it's two really
Mm,
small parking lots.
yeah. Anyways, if you do get a nice site that's close to the beach, definitely worth it. They have the water so close. Like I could see one of the main beaches right from our site. And then there's also a small little trail. It's literally like a 3 second trail through small set like little woods. And then at the bottom of that you have a nice little opening area, has a little bit of sand. It's almost like your own private beach. And we leave our paddle boards down there. We leave blow up boats and everything down there, and it's almost like your own space, although it's not. But
It
yeah,
was
it's
great.
definitely worth it because the water, I think, is probably one of the main reasons you would go to this place. Having a decent site close to it, I think, is essential.
Yeah, for sure. And it's nice water too. Like it's
Hmm.
beautiful, warm, clean.
Yeah.
So when we went to the park the last time that we went, we were like 15 minutes early, nothing crazy. Someone was still on our site, absolutely fine. Like I said, we were early, but the guy was just like relaxing, like feet up, coffee in his hand. His tent was up, his stuff was all over his campsite, his trailer was still opened up. So we parked, we walked over, kind of just like made it known casually and unconfront unconfrontational. I can't say that word. In a kind way. We were like, this is our site. So he started packing up his stuff. Fine. His truck died. He can't pull his trailer off. So while he's waiting for a tow truck, we're like, we're just going to walk down. We saw a little sign by the parking lot, said there was a park store. We didn't know that there was no store in the park. And the sign didn't say that the park store or that the store was outside of the park. We've passed through the whole campsite. Now we're passing all these fancy cottages on the road. This was the longest road I've ever walked in my life. Like,
Hmm.
it was like a mirage. I kept seeing the end of
Yeah.
the road and picturing water because it was 102 degrees outside. And when we got to the end of the road, there was no water. There was no store. There was just more road. So
Yeah.
we luckily we turned right because if we would have turned left, I would have just said, "Leave me here to die" on the side of the road. But we turned right. We crossed this little bridge, and there was the store. So it's definitely not like a well, let's just take a quick little walk outside. It's like a good 25 minutes
Oh
we
my
walked
god. I feel like
in
it's
like
even longer than
hot.
that.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was underestimating because let me tell you, I thought that that was it for me. I was gonna just lay on the side of
Yeah.
the road and say, "Leave me."
It wouldn't be so bad had they like given some kind of warning. Like all it said was basically a freaking shopping cart sign. Like we were like, "Oh,
Yes.
shopping." We're a group of girls. We're like, "Let's go shopping." Not let's walk for 45 minutes to find some fucking the hottest store. It's also very hot in there. So like
Because of the
after
pizza oven.
walking,
Yeah.
yes.
It's 3.2
After walking all
kilometers.
that.
Like it's not
Okay.
like there was no
It's pretty
sign. Even
far.
if the sign had said 3 kilometers, I'd be like, wow, this is a big park.
Yeah.
But then at least I would have known what
Yeah.
I was in for. Like we didn't bring any water to drink, nothing. We just
Nothing.
fully committed to the fact that there was going to be this store down the end of this little trail, and then we
Somewhere.
just kept walking for forever. So keep that in mind if you want to take a walk to the store. Definitely beautiful. It was a beautiful walk, but hot, like Satan's lair hot.
I suggest driving to the store. It's
Yeah,
just
I
too
agree.
far. Enough about that, though, because I hated that walk. I don't want to relive it. If if you're into fishing, this fish is like stocked full of this fish. This lake is stocked full of fish, stocked full of lake. And the native species of the lake include brook trout, lake trout, whitefish, brown bullhead. I don't know what that is. I've never heard someone pull a fish out and be like, I got a brown bullhead. White sucker and smelt. But they do have.
That's because we go fishing with Chris and Wade, and they don't
Oh.
pull anything out and show it to us.
Uh,
It's
that
funny
is.
because it's
It's
true.
so true. They do have programs to stock the lake with walleye, rainbow trout, smallmouth bass, and yellow perch. And northern pike were also introduced to the lake approximately 5 years ago, although I think that's 6 years ago now because I think I wrote that last year.
Yeah, we kind of quit recording episodes last year. I think we camped ourselves out. It was the most camping I've ever done in 1 year, definitely. Like by
Yeah,
far.
yeah, yeah. We didn't even want to talk about it
No.
over.
That's when we like canceled our October trip last year. I felt bad telling you I wanted to cancel and you felt bad telling me you wanted to cancel. And then when we both canceled, we were like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah,
It was just
but
too
we
much. I
still
was
didn't
done.
admit it. We didn't admit it. We were both just like, my car's not doing well.
And I have to decorate for Halloween. That's the excuse for anything in September, October. Oh, I wish I could, but I have to decorate for Halloween. So the other thing we did on this trip, I guess that we hadn't done previously, we went and checked out the disc golf course. I believe it was like a regular golf course. You could do 9 holes or 18. You go to the front counter, just let them know the site that you're on. They give you your discs. You can obviously bring your own. My cousin's husband came on this trip and he brought his own because he's fancy. And apparently I'm not fancy because I twisted my ankle on the very first hole or whatever you'd call it. And then I just limped through after my daughter for the rest of the 17 holes and said that I hate disc golf. I do. I hate disc golf. I am a terrible frisbee thrower. I apparently can't even walk and throw frisbee at the same time. So I am not going to play again because I don't enjoy sports injuries.
That's why I don't play badminton. Same.
Yeah, I know. This is my first classy sports injury.
Yeah. There are trails that go around the course itself. I think there's two of them. Like there's a long trail, and then there's also like the shorter version of the trail, if I remember correctly. Was it two or three? Like you could follow the
um,
blue arrows or you could follow the yellow arrows.
yeah, and
Remember?
then it kind of separated off
Yeah.
to other ones.
Yeah.
We
Anyways,
did the
it was
shorter.
beautiful. Yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely did the
it was.
shorter one because I remember the long one was like a 3 hour hike.
Yeah,
Um, but it was beautiful back there. A couple of times, honestly, I felt a little creeped out. Like it was very secluded and there's nothing because it's on the other side of the road from the campground itself. So there's no people back there. There's no one camping back there. A little creepy, but it was really
yeah.
pretty.
And once you do get back, like it's shocking how close you are to the road the whole time, but the forest just like eats the sound. It was very, very quiet in there.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it was a little spooky, but also beautiful. It was kind of like like if you picture like a fairy tale woodland area, like with the moss. It had like the moss on the rocks and the trees. Like it was very pretty.
Definitely. This is where Amanda and I differ as people because she pictures like a little fairy tale thing, and I picture it as somewhere that people would take you to hide you. When we
Well,
go deep in
yeah.
the woods, Amanda's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful," and I'm like, "Oh my god, no one would ever find me out here if Amanda turned on me right now."
I can't afford to think that way because even though I thought it was beautiful and fairy tale like, I was like, this is fucking creepy. So if my brain went to I would die here, no, I wouldn't even go in places.
I have to because I think that literally everywhere I go. Like I get up in the night sometimes to use the bathroom when I'm walking back to my bed. I'm like, imagine there was someone standing at the end of that hallway. And then I wonder
What's
why I
wrong with
can't
you?
sleep. It's because I terrorize myself 24 hours a day.
Were you one of those
Oh,
people
for
like
real.
when I was little I had basement stairs that didn't have a back on them? So like I always
Oh my god, no.
right? So I always pictured like I was gonna run up the stairs and a hand was gonna reach me. So I ran. It was only like four stairs that didn't have the back, but I ran real fast past those four stairs. It's terrifying.
just in case. Yeah, better safe than sorry, man. I'll tell you. That's probably why I'm like less fit now because I don't have open stairs in my basement. I need to go open all my
You
stairs up so I start racing up them again.
yeah, you just take your time now.
Anyways. Sorry, everyone. It's been a minute since we've recorded anything. We're
I
forgetting
know.
our podcast etiquette. So, on this trip, we also went to the beach. Though, like we said, the beach, the water, it's all amazing. We paddleboarded last time and this trip just for hours. Like we went all the way around the bend. Um, my daughter came with us on this one and decided she was too tired to paddle, so I dragged her back. So
Oh
she's not allowed
yeah,
to come with Amanda and I anymore. But
I
it's
forgot.
nice. It's not really mucky. I know. She's honestly the laziest. Because what am I going to do? She knows as long as she paddles out that she has to come back. So she'll just let me drag her back. Frick. So smart.
So smart. I need to talk to her more often.
Well, really, what would I do? No, sorry, just stay here.
You might.
She would.
It depends on the day.
Yes, noted. Next time I'm going to go out really far.
Hmm.
And we got separated.
Hmm. So there's a little bit of signage through this park. There's actually a really nice little trail that goes from the first beach area over to like the dog park area, or I guess dog beach and horseshoe pits.
And
And
basketball court.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
there is a basketball court. I forgot. So along this little trail, it kind of just follows the water's edge. It's actually very pretty. It's beautiful little trail. It's not that hard. Like there's a little bit of a hill every now and then, but the kids were easy enough, or the kids could do it easy enough. But they had the signs on the trees, so the kids just like we had younger kids with us this time, like what, like 5 and 6? Is that how old?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they were, yeah, 5 and 6 years old, and they would see the next sign on the tree a little further up. So they'd run up to it and read the sign, and it had like little riddles and stuff on it. It was very cute. So
It's nice. I'm finding that more parks seem to be going and doing this stuff. I don't know if it's just that before we didn't notice them because we were
maybe,
not hiking in the little trails with the kids. We were hiking on like the bigger trails, but it's nice for the kids to have just something to look forward to because they're not always into a hike, but it's
yeah,
definitely nice.
yeah, it did keep them engaged more than if there was
Hmm.
nothing to do along that hike. So
Yeah. I think there's also a volleyball net too down from the
oh yeah, it was a beach volleyball. There was like the
basketball. Yeah.
sand and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options for things to do at this park, definitely.
Hmm.
And then we saw a little snake while we were down there, which is Amanda's
Oh
favorite animal,
yeah.
in case anyone wants
Oh
to know.
no, no. This thing was not even like as long as my finger, and I was like out.
It was like a speedy worm.
Speedy worm. It's the speedy part that I'm scared of, so
Yeah.
that's why I didn't like them.
So the first couple times that we stayed here, I didn't find like the nighttime noise too badly. It doesn't really seem like it's a partying kind of park. Um, this last trip though, it was a little bit much for me one of the nights. It rained like an obscene amount of rain. So we were in our tent just kind of relaxing, didn't have anything going on. And we're gonna put a clip in around here somewhere. I'm like mostly pretty easygoing. I would like it would take a lot for me to have to go and complain about someone or like get so annoyed that it would ruin my trip. But holy hell, it, the noise from this one site, they must have had like speakers hooked up and probably 30 people on their site because it was like the end of an outdoor festival. It was
Hmm.
insane. The noise was absolutely insane.
Well, they had like microphones hooked up to the speakers. Like they were like announcing things. Like it was
Yeah,
a
like it was a
full
full concert.
blown. Yeah, like something, whatever was going on over there was, it was a full blown thing that they had, an event.
Yeah, and it went late, like it went on and on and on. Even like with my headphones on, if the song in my headphones changed over, that was it. It was just unreal.
And it's weird because when we were there for Girls Weekend a couple years ago, like we had 6 girls there, and we got in shit for laughing. Like we were laughing a little too loud, having a little bit like too much fun. But then to do this last year and to hear that they had like a full blown concert going on and no one came and told them to be quiet was, it was weird. Like,
Yeah, and our laughing, I swear. I know like you get caught up in it so you don't realize, but there's no way we were that loud.
no, no.
Like I when she came to our site, I was genuinely surprised that
Yeah, me
she was
too.
on our site. Like I didn't think we were being loud at all, but
Well, we are usually very considerate when we're camping because we know what it's like to be next to rowdy, loud people. And I
yeah,
mean,
definitely.
we were just playing a game and it was a funny part of the game. So I don't
Yeah.
think we were hysterically laughing.
Well, and it wasn't like midnight or anything. It was fairly early, like
Yeah.
just before 10, I
Oh,
think. I don't even think yeah,
I don't know. It's crazy.
whatever.
I think she just didn't like us.
So I mean that's oh no, we did do one other thing at the on the trip this time. We went down the road to this little store. It was called the Crystal Cave.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Like
Hmm.
stunningly beautiful. They sell obviously crystals, rocks, witchy things. If you're ever by Mikisew, if you're ever driving through South River, like go to this store. Put it on your
Hmm.
list. Go. It was so beautiful.
It's my dream home. I would like my entire house to look the way that this store looks.
Yeah. It
Even,
gave off the fairy thing that Amanda likes and no murder.
yeah, and even like my kid
It's
was
just
like,
beautiful.
I just want this in my room. I had to try and build him the, like the little, it was like a meditation area they had set up, but it was like a little tent you could go in. It was like a quiet area. And I had to
Yeah.
try and build that for him in his closet when we got home because he
Oh,
loved it. Hmm.
yeah. It was same with we took my niece and she is like the ultimate girly girl. So she was just in heaven. All the little princess things in there. She got to sit on a
Mm.
throne and put her face in a princess dress and like she just it was beautiful. So my favorite thing about this park, I think, is just the lake. When we did the girls' weekend and the last trip too, we did like the great big paddles. We took our sandwiches down. We had them on our paddle boards. We sat and ate them. We just like floated all day. It was probably one of my favorite camping trips like ever.
Yeah, the lake is really nice. It has like a most beautiful sandy bottom. There's not like, there's a little bit of weeds here and there, but there's nothing crazy. When we had our lunch down at the lake, we had all these like ducks come up and hang out with us and sit and eat
So
lunch
many
with us.
ducks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so cute. I mean, it wasn't this the place too? Yeah, it is because your kids called me out while we were swimming, and there was just this massive like hole. Wasn't that
Yeah.
this place? Where
Yeah. It
like
was
you're
a
just
huge hole.
walking and then it's just like a hole out of nowhere and you'd like fall into the hole, and they thought it was the funniest thing. But
And I think they got everybody. They got everybody to walk towards the giant
yeah,
hole.
yeah, it was like a big
Yeah.
hole out of nowhere. But it was pretty cool. Even that weird big hole wasn't like gross. It was still sandy, pretty far out there. Like
Yeah.
it's a nice, beautiful lake.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely my favorite. The lake because I find like a lot of parks they'll be too mucky or the water's too choppy.
Hmm.
There's too many boats going by, but this one I just like every time we went into the water, it was equally beautiful. So
Yeah.
I don't really dislike anything about this park. I mean, I've been 3 times now. The one trip with the kids, one with just the girls' weekend, and then one with the whole family, and it was fun and relaxing each time. Like I just there's nothing about this park that I don't like.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think I could say that there's anything that I don't like. If I had to pick one thing, it'd just be if I was on a site like far away from the beach.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's true. And that's the thing, like it gives you a whole different experience, I guess, right? Like if
mhm.
we had to walk 20 minutes to get to the water, we might not have had the lake as our favorite thing in the park because we wouldn't have gone as often.
Yeah. But also, like, not everybody's looking for that. Like, so it's not really like a bad thing about a park to be away from the lake, especially the beaches are big. They can get really busy. If you're looking for a more quiet time, like, you
Yeah.
don't really care to be on the water, you just want to be out in the bush. Like, it really, like, that's kind of a pro then because you do have that option still at this park.
Yeah, for sure. I guess favorite thing about this specific trip, um, the one night it poured. My boyfriend and my oldest daughter went home. Amanda wound up going home, and then everybody else
Hmm.
was kind of just stuck in their tents because it was like an obscene amount of rain. So I got a night with just my youngest daughter. It was the night before her birthday, so like we just went in, cuddled up, we watched a little movie together in the tent, and it was just something I don't get to do with her as often anymore now that she's 13 and doesn't want to cuddle up with her mom anymore. So that was my favorite part of the trip.
Yeah. Aw. I liked, I think probably the trail along the lake when we did that with the kids. I think that was my favorite part. They were just so excited. And
Yeah,
I don't
mine
often
too.
get to take my youngest on a lot of the trails because he has no interest in walking and doing nothing in his eyes for an hour.
Yeah.
Um, so this was just kind of like the perfect length where he could go and it kept him engaged with the signs on the trees. Like, so I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah, and then we got to go on a little swim when we got to the end of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a
And
cute
like
little
as
trail.
for food and stuff, I don't even remember what did we eat while we went on this trip. Like, oh, we made tacos one
We
night,
did
right?
tacos, yeah. Yeah, camping tacos seem to be like one of our go-to kind of
Uh-huh.
things. They're an easy one to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then just like
Tacos.
pizza. We got pizza from the store the one
Oh
night.
yeah, pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did the Caesar wraps too cuz we had the wraps for the tacos anyways.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We'll have to start paying attention more to the foods that we do just so we can give a little bit of input on what's
Mhm.
like a good camping food to make.
Yeah.
I go for foods that are easy cleanup because I don't want to be washing a million dishes if I don't have to be. Um,
Yeah.
so we try to go with the ones that are easier to make and quicker because then we don't have to take the kids out of the lake to go back to the site and cook for 2 hours or whatever. We want something quick and easy where we can feed them and then send them back to go play.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think yeah, I give the park like a 9 out of 10. I love it. As of right now, I think it's probably my favorite provincial park. We're going to do a bunch of new parks this year, so maybe that will change by the end of the season. But as of right now, I think Mikisew is my favorite park, so I definitely go back.
Yeah. I would also go back. I mean, we have gone back. We liked it so much the
Yeah.
first time that we've gone back a few times.
Yeah.
I think probably a 9 out of 10 also for me, and I don't, it's weird because it should be a 10 out of 10. There's really nothing bad about it.
I
I don't
know.
know. I think if they on if they had a park store in the park as well as the other little store, that might kick it up to a 10 out of 10 because even for ice, you still had to leave the park, drive 5 minutes to get it, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, and
convenience
the
wise,
canoe and stuff too, like having to leave the
yeah,
park to go to the reservation, get your key, and then take it back. Like you're not always in the mood to go back out. Obviously, like it's not even just a drinking thing where you shouldn't be drinking obviously if you're out on the canoe, but it's just the time. Like if you have little kids with you
yeah,
and no other adults, and you have to take the key back. Now you got to load the kids in the car, take the key back to the store. It would be nice if they could have the key drop box in the park or the
yeah.
reservation system in the park, and then at the end of the night you just go back to the gatehouse, drop the key, and then in the morning the store can come and grab whatever keys they need.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and because they must sell the wood in the store, right? Like I or in the park. I can't even remember.
Yeah, we definitely
Did
got the wood in the park.
Okay. Yeah, it was just the ice that we had to go up to the store for, and well, like everything else. But still, I think having that a little bit more local and easier to get would be nice.
Yeah.
But I do love that store, so it's not like I would like to take it away because I would not like to go without that pizza.
Well, yeah, and it's like kind of a little hoarder dream in there. Like they had a little bit of everything. The
Mm.
one trip, the girls got like a fishing rod, remember? And then
Yeah.
the next one, they had like little badges and crests, and like Aurora got a little knife for her knife collection. So
I mean, I don't know why you can't sleep at night and you think someone's hiding around the corner waiting to kill you.
it's my daughter with her knife collection.
Yeah.
I know. No more
Not
hiking with
me.
Aurora. That's
No.
if she starts pointing out places where she could leave you in the woods, that's when we stop taking her on trips.
Agreed. 100%. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. So definitely check out this park. We loved it. We're gonna be back there, I'm sure. If not this year, next year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to do a few new ones this year. We got a few new ones last year, which was nice. Um,
Yeah.
so I would like to do a few new ones this year. But if there's ever like just a random weekend where we have nothing going on and there's a good site on Mikisew, I would go back in a second.
Yeah. Yeah. And thanks for bearing with us. Well, we took some time off, like 5 months off. It's fine. Uh, all is all is well. It's camping season again, and we're gonna get back out there and keep making more episodes.
Yeah, and we have like posted our podcast now to a couple camping groups on Facebook, just to get some information for a separate episode that's coming out. So if we do have any new listeners, let us know. Like if there's things that we're not including in our recommendations that you'd like, or things that you think we could expand on, we're really open to anything because we do want to make it kind of so the podcast is helpful or informative to everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
But don't
All
be
right.
mean
Well,
because we don't care.
well, you can be mean, but we just don't care.
Yeah, we won't engage. We won't engage with you, cyber bullies.
Cyberbullies. All
Is
right.
that what they're called?
Bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Nailed it. Thank you for listening to Girls Gone Camping Uncensored. If you enjoyed this episode, please check out our website or follow us on Facebook to stay up to date with our latest adventures. If you are interested in extra video content, please join us on Patreon. We genuinely appreciate your support. Talk to you all soon.